Think of Texas history. You think of people like this. Rugged, white men fighting the dangers presented by the frontier. This same stereotype holds often for our politicians. But often overlooked are some really key and very cool minority and women figures in Texas history. So this video is highlighting different Texas state legislature politicians, such as Jose Navarro, Matt Gaines, George T. Ruby, and Margie Neal. Let's scroll back to the year 1795. Jose Antonio Navarro was born in San Antonio, and he was a vital Hispanic leader pushing for Texas independence. In fact, support for independence caused him to being exiled from Texas for the Gutierrez-Maggi expedition, a battle of which you can see here. This was an attempt to seize Texas with a force of Mexican rebels and Americans that led to 327 of them getting executed. He was one of 3 Hispanics to sign the Texas Declaration of Independence. He also served in the Congress of the Republic of Texas, represented Texas in the Convention of 1845, helped write the first state constitution, and served in the Texas state legislature for 2 terms. He didn't really have a lot of luck with expeditions, and ended up at one point being a Mexican prisoner when captured during an ill-fortunate expedition to Santa Fe. But he continually pushed for Tejano rights in Texas, recorded Tejano contributions to Texas independence, and helped prevent them from losing their rights to vote. Although he died in 1781 disappointed in the subjugation of his fellow Tejanos, he did leave a legacy as a staunch Tejano defender. Our next historical figure is Matt Gaines, a Republican senator in the Texas 12th legislature. Born in 1840 as a Louisiana slave, he taught himself to read and made 2 unsuccessful attempts for freedom, and ended up in Texas working as a runaway slave in Fredericksburg on his final try. One of his biggest contributions to African Americans was his working in securing public education for African Americans. He was one of 10 in the Constitutional Convention, and one of 2 African Americans in the Texas legislature at the time. He worked on laws ensuring homestead protection, public and integrated school systems, and he advocated for equal treatment and protection for all classes of people. In fact, in the document you see on the screen, this is a debate transcript of his argument for protection from the Ku Klux Klan and for equality. The other African American to serve in the 12th and 13th legislature was George Thompson Ruby, one of the most productive senators of the time, who served on 4 different committees that did 75% of the total work in the 12th legislature. He was born in New York, and at one point, he was the newspaperman in Haiti, and then he tried to establish a common school for African Americans in Jacksboro, Louisiana. After being attacked by a white mob, he moved to Galveston, where he joined the Freedmen's Bureau, taught in night school, and worked with the Union League, which he became president of in 1868. He was elected National Republican Delegate in 1868, served on the State Constitution Convention in 1868 to 1869, and was the only African American appointed by Governor Peace in 1867 as a notary public. With this Senate work, he organized the first labor union of colored men at Galveston, pushed for a geographical and agricultural state survey, and incorporated a large number of railroads and insurance companies. Our last senator, Margie Neal, was the first female Texas senator, and she was elected in 1929. One of the original female glass ceiling shatterers for Texas politics, she was the first woman to vote in Panola County, the first woman to serve on a board of regents for a college in Texas, and the first to get $1,600,000 allocated for rural education and handicap rehabilitation. She helped establish the State Board of Education, increase standards for teaching certification, and is the reason that you are required to take U.S. and Texas Constitution courses in public, secondary, and university institutions in Texas. Her history is expansive, like the rest of these senators, but definitely impressive. So, now you know a little bit more about some groundbreaking Texas senators, and that concludes the end of this video. Don't forget the importance of your political involvement and perspective. Just as these senators improve the lives of those in their groups, so can you.